Dun 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 dun. Oh, yes, it is Friday. A grand day granted to you by the powers that be to sit back and reflect on how much your week sucked. But it's amazing to me. What? I lost somebody already. What the hell? Oh, yeah, you have to love it. It's kind of weird how a lot of people have forgotten that. I think it was Henry Ford is the reason why you have weekends and the reason why you have Fridays. But also, yeah, sure, he was a raging anti-Semite and was buddies with Hitler. But we'll forgive him because he was a multimillionaire. But just crazy, crazy things going on out there. Hello, Germany. Hello, Angels at the phone box. Hello there, Blue Sparks. I haven't set up super donations or chats or anything like that yet. I have no idea what it really is. I'm still learning this game as I go. I've been thinking about setting up a Patreon page, but like I said, the only reason I do it is because it would be set up mainly for the Dr. Freedom and Eric audio show because I'd love to have more guest stars on it. But the thing is, the problem is, in order to have guest stars on the Freedom and Eric audios, it costs money. And it's not mainly the stars' fault. It has to do with how union rules are set up over, because a lot of the folks I'd like to hire, of course, in the UK. Like I said, we had Sophie Aldred on way back when in Skydark. And I mainly did it because I based the entire character of Dr. Liberty off of Sophie Aldred. And so there was a chance because we had been, doing a few shows here and there, she came on, she did a couple of group Q&As with us, she did an interview, and basically she goes, well, the problem is this: when I'm appearing as me, that's no problem. That's me doing my thing. But if I'm appearing as a character, then that's an acting role, then it falls under union rules, and therefore that's why I had to pay her for that. And it's not cheap, because even with the fact that she really, really, really hacked her rates down, she basically made like no commission off this. Just about everything that got paid went straight to the damned agency, and I can never thank her enough for that. I really can't. She's very, very kind, and really goes incredible lengths to give back to her fans. So if you ever see Sophie Aldred out there, you're at a convention and all that, you just say, look, thank her profusely, because she's like probably one of the kindest people I've ever heard or talked to. Also, I keep hearing stories about other people who've met Sophie and all that. I've never had the opportunity to meet her in person, unfortunately, which sucks. I was really hoping to meet her at Time Lord Expo, and we all know how that turned out. It was even more disappointing than a Matt Smith Series 7 episode. But yeah, it's just yeah. Then there was going to be this year the alleged what was it? I've already forgot the name. But there was TLX at Philliport. Then that's right. That was going to go into Ohio Who, and then Ohio Who said, "Well, we're pushing back to 2019." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks a lot. You just kicked us all in the nuts again." But I know. I wish I could go to London Film and Comic Con, really, because I'm looking forward to going to Chicago TARDIS, but it's looking like there's not going to be any doctors there. And I already have, I won't mind meeting, oh, heck, wouldn't mind meeting Pearl Mackie because I've got her autograph twice over. There's one up here on this wall, there's one back there. But the thing is, every time I went to meet a doctor, like Peter Davison was supposed to be down here the one year, and well, the year we moved down here, Paul McGann was appearing down at Cincinnati. But the thing is, we were still moving in. Everything was in disarray. There was no way in hell we were going to have time to pull away and go, for a weekend, because I was working, plus we were putting the house together over the weekend. So it's like there was no way we could make it down there. And sadly, we missed Paul. And yes, it was one of the times he didn't cancel. And then Peter Davison was scheduled to come down the following year, and he canceled. But the good news is, yeah, I met Eve Miles. And like I said, Eve Miles is a force of nature. If you ever have a chance to meet Eve Miles, she has no filter. She will talk you to death if you want her to. She's very loving, very friendly. And once you get her going, she, like I said, she has no inhibitions whatsoever. Okay. Uh, but like I said, all the doctor's autographs I've had are from people I've never met. Like I said, and I got to thank the people who, did that. Like I said, I would have Capaldi's autograph, thanks to Lee Williams from Wales. But unfortunately, like I said, he sent them to me. It was months later, and then finally he gets them back in Wales in an envelope, which ain't the one he sent out. And sure enough, guess whose autograph is missing? There were supposed to be 3 in there. There's 1, there's 2, and the third one was Peter Capaldi's. And guess what? Peter Capaldi's was gone. Really. But I'm really happy because I got Matt Lucas. I got, Pearl Mackey there. Like I said, Pearl Mackey up here, because what happened was when that was all going on, and I contacted my friend. Everybody, how many here know George Baker? Not George here, George Baker. Okay. I was talking to George one day, and I go, look, yeah, I was supposed to be getting these autographs. It's been a couple months. They've never shown up. We don't know what happened. We think they may be lost in the mail. And he went ahead and he got me an autograph from Pearl Mackey, and he sent it to me. And like I said, so that's how I wound up with 2, because the other one did eventually show up. My friend Elijah got me that one right there on the back wall there. And see that frame? Wait, let me move a little closer. Right here. That one there, it's a Nightmare in Silver poster card. That's signed by Ingrid Oliver. And like I said, I can never think. Also, this one this one I treasure like hell. See this right here? For all you people who said I should hate on Christopher Eccleston, my friend Elijah got this outside the stage door at the play he was doing in London. He didn't charge a dime for these. And he almost missed curtain call because he was out there signing free autographs for fans. So, exactly. He was always giving away autographs and all that. If you approached him in the street anytime, he would happily sign anything, even if it was Doctor Who related. Like I say, he sent videos to kids as the 9th Doctor. He helped the guy, basically propose to his wife in the guise of the 9th Doctor. He never hated the show itself. It was just the things that went on. It was politics, okay? I swear. There's one statement I agree on. I think it was from Babylon 5. If our primate ancestors knew that bureaucracy was going to eventually come to be and come to pass, they'd have stayed up in the trees and written off evolution as a bad idea. Oh my God, here we go. All right, let's get into the comment box. All right, Who's Books? Tell us about your Who's Books. All right. Now, Matt Smith, like I said, he had nothing to do with fans. He did not sign anything until he started getting paid for it, and got paid outrageously. Just the fact, if you knew how much these guys were getting paid just to show up for the weekend, you'd be, plus, like I said, I'm not going to hate on them because a lot of those autograph prices are set between the venue and the agent. So they've got to take their little slice. They got to take their slice. They all got their fingers in the pie. You know what I'm saying? Not that pie. That's dirty. Okay. Who bashed all Whovians with tattoos? Nick Ford. You come on. You got something to say? Who bashed? Who bashed all Whovians with tattoos? Of course, he's become more open now. He's charging you £200 for a freaking autograph. I bet you he'd tongue your butthole for if you gave him 3. I'm not kidding. I know. I wish Eccleston had hung around. Like I said, but it just wasn't meant to be. Things happen. Like I said, just like Paul McGann. Paul McGann's never gotten a fair shake of the stick. He got the 96-minute movie. But then again, he's had an incredible career of Big Finish. His stories are awesome. But the thing is, it came around to the 50th anniversary year. We're going to give him a 7-minute special so we can shoehorn in another Doctor. because my writing sucks and I need John Hurt to save it. I just watched Patient Zero. Well, most of it, and I don't know. I gotta watch it again. I can't really, but it's funky as hell listening, to Natalie Dormer and Matt Smith go on in English. I mean, an American accent, being English actors, and it's like it's just funny. I'm not used to it. It's kind of weird too because Natalie Dormer appeared in Captain America. Can anyone name where? She was that slutty little office clerk with the stockings that seduces Captain America and gives him the big kiss. Yeah, that was Natalie Dormer. Also, Jenna Coleman appeared in Captain America for all of 15 seconds. And it's kind of weird where you see these other stars pop up at previously. Did Eccleston say he didn't like it? That's right. Philip and the Beefhead got to meet Jodie. Not Jodie. See, I got my things mixed up again. Ugh. Yeah, Philip and the Beefhead got to meet Jodie Whittaker. Like I said, that's another thing I got to thank Beefhead for. See, this one right here. That's an autographed picture of Jodie Whittaker that he got at the BBC Two fiasco. You remember that day, boom, 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 the day the fan threw picks. And that was just over a year ago. We jokingly celebrated the 1 year anniversary of picture throwing. But like I said, a lot of the things that are going on right now, like I said, it's just amazing as shit. With Leakgate going on again. Oh God! Wait! Why is Connor? What are you doing to Connor? Sorry, I'm reading in the comment box over here as we go along. So, any questions, inquiries, thoughts? Your intimate desires. Okay. Wait. So yeah. Okay. Back to what the hell was. If I did do a Patreon account, it would be to gather money for guest stars for like the audio plays. So, because if you can get actors to come on 9 times out of 10, they'll do it for free if they can. All right. Macroterror and Wheel in Space are coming out together. And they had the Wheel in Space up for freaking pre-order, wasn't it, on Amazon? It's like, come on, people. It's like, talk about spoiler territory. Yeah, it's 5-ish doctors, and a lot of people have been demanding a sequel. The problem is, they made the first one. No one got paid to appear. Of course, Moffat made a sympathy appearance because he knew his outing sucked. But okay, so yeah, the weird thing is, no, I don't think they filmed Christmas yet. There was a story going around that they filmed it concurrently with episode 10, but as far as we know, no. The TARDIS interior thing was done in-house. That was not these guys. Matter of fact, Arwell Wynne-Jones, one of the guy who designed the set, if I remember correctly, he had it up on his Twitter, and the tweet has now disappeared, where he said he knew the guy who leaked the photo or took the photo and sent it out, and it was somebody who worked at the BBC. You see, folks, if you want to blame people for the leaking, it's the BBC's house that's effing up. Oh God, I can't believe I said that. They're fucking it up. Okay. When I do live streams, I don't like to censor myself. You'll notice it's like it's the BBC, throwing themselves under the fucking double-decker bus. It's not these guys. I wish I could say for definite, but no, like I said, they're really tight-lipped on what's going on. Like I said, 1 year, like during the 50th year, I had somebody who worked security, another guy who worked in like on the set. We had another person who worked in the offices and all that. But when it came towards the end of like series, when they went into series 10, everybody clammed up. Everybody went because That's when the clampdown began. And like I said, there's been these fake stories going around that they were beefing up security on location. They've not. They beefed up security at Rothlock is what happened. My goodness gracious, the BBC is leaking more than. Oh my god! Oh, I just lost it. The BBC is leaking more than an incontinent man who just had a pitcher of water. Now, like I said, there's a lot of stories going around, but the fact of the matter is we don't have a lot of facts. We're doing the best we can with what we got. Like I said, Doctor Who news reporting the first part of this year was like literally being a blind man in a nudist colony. All you could do was feel your way around, and based off what you knew, you might get to the way out. It just, it's like it was literally like that. I would not be surprised if I got a subpoena, but because given the fact that all you folks who have been on this channel know, every time for a long time, I so much as put up like a fart of a bit of a episode. Like one time we were in the middle of the Omega Files, and we're actually sitting there watching this trailer for the next episode, and we're discussing it. By the way, that's fair use. It's a trailer that's already been out for like 2 days. It's, we're discussing it, we're critiquing it, and that falls right under the very definition. Guess what? BBC flagged the video. I'm like, guys, commentary, fair use, we don't care. F you. But it's this latest series of attacks on private users has become just draconian. This should not have been allowed to go on. And the only reason it happened is because... shut up! Probably a weirdo. I'm not kidding. It's weird how many people call you that you don't freaking know anymore. People wonder why I don't answer the phone very much. It's because 9 times out of 10, it's some jackass I don't know either. Or somebody collected money, wanted to collect money, and my first wife was just blown. But shut it. I can't believe this. Why do they keep calling? Leave a voicemail, you jackass. Okay. The faction paradox will introduce as the big bads. I have a feeling that the 13th Doctor series will be like the BBC. And I'm not going to lie to you. I've not read a lot of the books. My main exposure to the new Virgin-like region and all that series has been through Big Finish Audio. Their recreations of it. AIrdates, like I said, we've all been screaming for an air date. I don't know why it's become such an impossible fucking task just to say it's going to be on such and such a date, or we plan to have it on. Unless there's some kind of scheduling conflict going on, they want to make damn sure that they're going to get the date they want. All you people who are running around, though, it's the ones that are pissing me off are going, it's going to be on Sunday. No, it's not. And I'll tell you why Doctor Who's not going to Sunday. Because, remember, when they air the show, they also have to set it up to air in Australia, which is like 9 hours ahead, 10, depending on what part of Australia. So if you try to air an episode of Doctor Who on Sunday night, that means it's going to air in the 5 cities in Australia on Monday fucking morning. It's not going to work. And also that means, guess what? Does that mean that, no, BBC America, Doctor Who's their #1 Saturday night drama. Do you think they're going to move Doctor Who off Saturday night? Because guess what? That would mean if BBC America wants to keep Saturday night, they don't get to air to the following Saturday. It's like, by then you've probably already torrented it, streamed it, had sex with it. By the time you get to then, it's too fucking late. And BBC America is still like, their Doctor Who's like through the roof on ratings. They're not, like, that's why people are going, Doctor Who has been plummeting in the ratings on the BBC in Great Britain. No one gives a shit. It's still the highest rated show going on Saturday nights in Australia. It's several times over. It was the highest rated on BBC America Matter of fact, it scored record ratings this year, or last year. I mean, sorry, with season 10, and stuff like that. So I don't know why the hell people are freaking out saying it's going to Sunday. No, it's not. I really don't see it happening. If it does, okay. John is going out for a fag. Now, in America, that means a whole different thing. Matter of fact, I'll say this much, and I say it with shame, that back down south, some of my forebears, way up the family line, going out to light a fag was not a good event. Okay, it was not. Because down south, it meant an entirely different thing that was not pleasant. But I know. I'm just saying, in America, it's a different thing, John. Calm down. Why, you're heading over to Philip's house. Oh, but yes, that's the problem, though. If BBC wants to keep it on Saturdays and they decide that BBC is going to air it on Sunday, that means they aren't going to air the new episode till the following Saturday. And by then, you might as well forget it. They're not going to air it at the same time on Sunday. I don't get why everybody's even thinking that could happen. Philip is not taking in any more customers. I mean, boarders. I pick on Philip because I love him. I secretly desire his chocolatey goodness. But porn narrated by Alan Rickman. Oh yeah, we were talking about that one night, and we were so flipping out. Imagine a porn movie being narrated by Alan Rickman. It would just play like the ultimate thing. The sad part is, I think if Alan was still around, he'd be up for it. The guy had a hell of a sense of humor from what we know about him. I'll put it to you this way: if they wiggle enough cash underneath Matt Smith's nose, he'll go anywhere. He'll appear at the Podunk County Fair if they guarantee they'll shell out $200 for a freaking autograph. I guarantee you, he'll open up a letter opening down in Lytle if they go, we'll give you $200 to autograph. Oh no, I do not miss my hair. To be honest with you, during the summer, it's actually kind of convenient for it to be gone. It really is. But during the winter, I do grow it out a bit, and it's like it kind of sucks because there were benefits. You see, with my mom's side of the family, I got baldness, but I also got a clean heart. So far, I have no signs of heart disease, which is great, especially for a fat ass like me. I am a lard ass. I am so ashamed of the fact that I am overweight because of the mass media machine that dictates that all people must be skinny. And that's another thing I can't stand out there. There was somebody out there, I think it was Maribel Cosplays, and she put up a picture of herself doing a pose, and somebody put up this totally off the wall, out of line. Well, yeah, I'm shocked that the sound has stayed in. Anybody still here? The problem is with YouTube is you have really great nights with it, and then sometimes you have some really shitty ones. You really do. It's like some nights it's working dead on perfect, but in other nights it really sucks ass. I don't know what goes on with that. Hang on, let me double check something. Shut up, group. Okay. No more news that I've heard on the classic Blu-ray releases other than this. Like I said, I wish I had my notes in front of me. Like I said, there's word going around that there's going to be a series. I think it's Peter Davidson's first series. There's a series of Pertwee coming out, I think, on Blu-ray. Damn, like I said, I wish I could remember this. I'm going off the hard drive here, and it's kind of ticking. It's like, yeah, it was the one, yeah. And as you're right, it was Tom Baker's last season with Legopolis. It has also been named, and that's for a Blu-ray release. At least that's what I last heard, and that was a little while ago. Because as far as I know, the season 12, Tom Baker one really, really went off well, as far as I know, in sales. At least enough to justify they're going to do more. So, no, I've done all bald. I've done it 100 times. All right, Connor Farley says September 29th. Do you want to bet, Connor? Bet. Oh. No, I don't think the Daleks are going to show up. If they do, it'll probably be like a flashback or something like that. I don't think they're going to have a major story arc. It's just they need to fade off of the Daleks hardcore. And they need to take like a 10-year rest. And here's why. You went from series 1, right? Everybody remember, anyone here remember a little episode called Dalek written by Robert Sherman? Come on. I want hell yes. Hell yeah. Come on. Dalek by Robert Sherman. Come on. Really fucking good episode, right? Knocked it out of the fucking ballpark. Well, then as the Daleks progressed, and then you got into like, parting of the ways, then they started showing up all the fucking time. And by the time you got to Matt Smith, especially with the new paradigm, they got to be a fucking joke. They really did. It's just, they're not even scary anymore. The closest they came to being scary again, really, was, of course, an Into the Dalek, when you had that sequence where you have Daleks actually killing people and Moffat isn't reviving them. But you see what I mean? They've gotten to be, like I said, then they got those damn Teletubby Daleks. It's like, really? That was the best you could fucking come up with? I've seen fan-made designs that were better than that. It's like a 3-year-old with his fucking Lego blocks could have made a more terrifying Dalek than the new paradigm. And it's like, what the hell? Ugh. No, the thing is, when Russell T Davies was doing the Daleks were genuinely frightening. It's just when you got into like assholem of the Daleks, oh yeah, the Daleks don't kill each other for failure anymore. They just put them off in asylum. And by the way, they formed a parliament with a Dalek prime minister. Now, let's soak that in, shall we? Why the fuck would the Daleks have a parliament? Really? Does that mean if you've got a pothole in your galaxy, you go to the local council to get your MP to go to the fucking Dalek prime minister to sort it? No, the Daleks were never going to have a goddamn parliament. That was just lazy fucking writing because, that got to be a bad habit. It really did. All you have to do is get to the big cry and the big speech at the end, and nobody gives a rat's ass about how the hell you got there. It was the same story with the 50th anniversary special, aka Era of the Zygons. No one gave a goddamn about how you got there, just as long as you got the big hug and cry moment at the end. And that just became a big bad habit with Moffat. I hate to say it, but I was happy to see him go. He was starting to really, like, a Series 10 was great, but compared to others, oh man, it was starting to give you the same thing over and over again. Let me see. We got to flash back to the RTD era. I don't know if he relied on the Dalek so much but like I said, then they brought back Davros for the Stolen Earth and all that. I loved him, but really, how much of a role did he really play in all that? It's like, I'll just hang out here in the basement. It's Davros. I'm still here, guys. Feed me. But the thing is, yeah, I hope if they do redesign the Daleks, they do a better job at it than they did with the new paradigm, because they weren't scary at all by that point. They're just getting to be fucking silly. And it's like, when your villain becomes silly, yeah, because even remember in the Stolen Earth, they were killing people. They were going, come here, let's hug and be friends. Oh yeah, by the way, we've suddenly decided we're going to unwrite it so that everybody lives. What a jackass. That's the one thing I couldn't stand about Moffat also. Everybody lives. And then the people who criticize this go, when you criticize that, you're a killjoy. You like seeing people get killed on screen. I'm like, no, because as I've explained before to you people who are out there in the audience, With no fear or consequence, you can't have tension. Without tension or a fear of consequence, you can't have drama. It just becomes a fucking comedy at that point. And that's the problem with Moffat after a while. Series 10 was actually a lot better in comparison until he came up with Dos Ex Bill, or Dos Ex Puddle Girl. Dos Ex Machina, I'm going to come in and rewrite everything at the end so that everybody's happy and goes off and has galactic hugs. That shit got to be old as shit. And the saddest part is, even when he made Bill into the cyber guy, I'm like, okay, how's he going to flip it and get her the hell out of it? You know, that's the thing. All right, we've had some things about Davros. Now, the problem is this with Davros. All right, when you started out back, when you started Series 9 with, Magician's Apprentice, Witch is Familiar. Let me see. It's just the fact that, yeah, I'm glad Davros was there and he really worked over the Doctor and all that, but we're basically going to turn sewer Daleks into indestructible weapons that are going to kill all the Daleks on the 10th rendition of Skaro. It's like, my God, it's like, did they just poop out Skaros now? It's like, remember back when the 7th Doctor tricked Davros into wiping out Skaro, then suddenly you get the 8th Doctor movie and there's Skaro. It's like, doesn't anybody just do a little research anymore? But then again, with the time war going on, you can go, well, shit, so far in flux, no one knows what the hell's going on anymore. It's like, yeah, the Power Rangers Daleks, the Go-Go Power Daleks. Ba, 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 ba. I'm surprised they didn't have the pink Dalek there. Yeah, it's like, or the Teletubby Daleks, as we call them. Stolen Earth, no. There's no way in hell it's better than Infinity War. Infinity War was very cleverly written. And what it is this. What Marvel did, Girly Letters is, let's just say if you look around, gone, but no longer under that name. I don't want to give away the new account name, because people were, yeah, it's like, how many frickin' Scaros do they have? Yeah, I love them. I did love the Muppet thing. That was hilarious. But no, Infinity War, what made it brilliant was the fact that you've already used all your movies leading up to this point as your background stories for those characters. Therefore, there was no reason really other than Gamora to go into anyone's background. You focused the story on the villain and his story and his journey, and that was, of course, Thanos, which was very well told, very well done. Infinity War was awesome. Like I said, it blows the pants off. Yeah, Stolen Earth altogether. No. You'll see them as flashbacks or clips, and I'll tell you why. If they only brought back the 4th Doctor for the 50th anniversary special, and that was for a whopping 3-minute appearance. And now we all know Tom's getting up there, so I can understand that. But they didn't even bother to bring them in to stand in their places for that last scene where they're up there staring at Gallifrey. That shows me how much they really give a flying rat's ass about the fucking classic Doctors. They don't at all. Matter of fact, they've basically decided, and you can tell from what's going on, you're going to get references to the classic series, but they're never going to see anybody again on it from the classic series on the new show. I don't know why this happened, but even back during the 50th anniversary thing at Excel in London, they were basically, and this didn't come out till way later, that they were told that Moffat told the classic companions and all that, look, this is what happened. I was told not to have any classic companions back on the show. Not for the 50th. No, none. And even when they did the Excel event in London, they deliberately segregated the classic characters from the new ones. And if you've heard the story about Wendy Padbury going to go see Matt Smith, who, by the way, she was our fucking agent. She still had to crawl through a mountain of red tape, and Matt had to come out and basically tell them to go fuck themselves before she could get to go see Matt Smith, who she had known for years. She was basically the reason why he was at that point in his career, because she was a classic star. And that kind of shit is what's going on. They basically, it's just, like I said, it's weird because when RTD was in charge, you had, of course, Sarah Jane Smith, and I'm sorry I kept forgetting to mention K9, come back. It leads to a huge spinoff, Sarah Jane Adventure. Then you get, on the Sarah Jane Adventures, you got the Brigadier, you got Joe Grant, you got mentions of Liz Shaw, who sadly by that time was passed away. Or is she doing Big Finish? I can't remember. But the thing is, if the Sarah Jane Adventures had gone on, they already had it on the books that Sophie Aldred was going to reprise her role as Ace. They had already been in talks with Tom Baker to show up as the Fourth Doctor. They're talking to Sylvester McCoy to make an appearance. Unfortunately, that all went by the wayside when Liz Sladen passed, and then RTD decided to end the show. Which even he said just a couple years back, he called up, I think it was Benjamin Cook, and he said, we really shouldn't have ended it, should we? Because there were so many great things they could have done, and without disrespecting Liz Sladen's memory. You know? But the thing is, they wanted to end it so that, oh, look, she's never going to die. So that's why you're never going to get a funeral scene. That beautiful funeral scene you've all been picturing in your head, where they show up the Sarah Jane's funeral or whatever. It's never going to happen. You're never going to see her gravestone. Matter of fact, originally, how many here remember that little episode at the end of Series 8? I think it was Death in Heaven. They are originally supposed to have, they're going to show Amy Pond and Rory's grave as being a couple of the Cybermen that apparently that popped up. And the thing is, the gravestones, we actually had the pictures of them and everything, and then they decided at the last minute to cut it because that would be wrong. But it was okay to have the Brigadier show up as a Cyberman. But, because I remember all that, because I probably, if I dig deep enough, I hope they didn't go with the old hard drive. But I remember those pictures. Because they actually were going to show, matter of fact, they're even going to show the Clara Oswald Oswald gravestone and all that, and as various cemetery shots, and they cut it for time, I guess. I don't know. The problem is this: it's not necessarily Steve Moffat, it's not necessarily Chris Chibnall. Once again, you're dealing with the fucktards on floor 6. You see, we want a Doctor Who that everyone can jump in on and enjoy, so we can hook them while they're young to carry this franchise on another decade. All they care about is numbers. They don't give a flying fuck about the fact that, William Russell's in his 90s. They don't give a fuck about the fact Carol Ann Ford's in her 70s. They don't give a fuck, period. It's all about classic fans. We don't give a shit. You're fading away anyway. We need to replenish our numbers with new people. And the sad part is, at the same time they're doing this, it causes a little bit of divisiveness in the fan community. But remember, it's not the new Who fans' fault. It's not the classic fans' fault. It's the fucktards on floor 6. It's what it is. As we all know, like I said, Leaguegate's still going on. And as I said, it's kind of really obvious now when I sit back and think on it. Because, like I said, how many folks here remember that somebody was bragging about, oh, I saw that clip a week before it leaked, and then also had images of the sonic screwdriver up before anyone else? I wonder who that was. Doesn't take fucking Sherlock Holmes to put those two pieces together. It's like, ugh. Yet that's the one person who's not been named or harassed by the BBC. Yes, but like I said, I've said this during the 50th anniversary year. We're in a race with the graveyard. And Sadly, we've already lost, Victoria, Deborah Watling. Like I said, everybody else is getting up there in age now. Tom Baker's in his 80s, Sylvester and all them. It's just, why do you think that Big Finish is going out and hiring young YouTubers who do good imitations? Because even they know sooner or later that the law of averages catches up with you. Sadly. Okay, here's an entertaining story, and like I said, no, I don't know if I'll get in trouble for this, but all right, how many here want to hear a Susan Foreman story? It's going to tickle you up, make you go, huh? I want 10 hell yeahs, and I will tell you this tale that will tickle your testicles. Oh, come on, we can do better than that. Come on. Here we go. Here. All right, we're at about 10 now. There we go. You're all there. My friend Elijah Craley, aka Minnesota Gallifreyan, he was playing around with a paint program one night, and he took some Big Finish backgrounds. Philip, please tell me the name of the actress because I'm going to forget it. Okay? You know who I'm talking about. And he cobbled together this Big Finish cover that he called The War Susan. And he put it up on Twitter. Next thing you know, thank you, Philip. Thank you very much, because that's what I was thinking. And he put Jane Asher as Susan, in some Gallifreyan guard garbs. Next thing you know, he's getting messaged by certain people whose names will remain unmentioned that Elijah, look, because he tagged Big Finish in it. That's the only reason why. Well, we kind of want you to take that down, because, let's just say it's caused a lot of phones to ring and all that here at Big Finish. Now, for you folks who've been paying attention and are Big Finish listeners, a little while back there was a companion chronicle. Philip, name it. Where it's the Eighth Doctor. Then he's gone to visit Susan, and Susan has basically, by the end of it, spoiler alert, she's decided to go to Gallifrey to fight in the Time War. She's basically been enlisted. So that's why he put that up. They freaked out because I think that was actually going to happen, that there was going to be a series of Time War Chronicles focusing in on Susan Foreman's role in the Time War. So otherwise, why do you think you get messaged by, we won't name any names, but they do work with Big Finish to say, look, please take down your War Susan image because it's caused some phones to ring and some commotion to happen here at the office. And that's the only reason I can think of that they would call him up, because I figured when I heard that story, are they going to pick up on this? Because it would be very, very interesting to find out what, happened to Susan. Because you folks who've listened to the Big Finish Range know that her son David died fighting the Daleks. So this would motivate her. Or was it her grandson David? No, it was her son David. That's right. Because her and Wycott Campbell did the... Apparently, since they did it without a TARDIS, he's only got one heart or something. Alex, thank you. It was Dave. What's the guy she named or she married? It was something Campbell. Was it David? No, the guy she married. Come on, you guys are fans. You know this. My hard drive's running at half speed today, okay? It was David. Okay, I got the names mixed up. And her son was Alex. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. And apparently David has passed away by the time we come back to Susan at that point in the Big Finish Range. So, but her son Alex, has passed away fighting the Daleks. And trust me, if you've not listened to them, I highly, 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 highly recommend you go out and listen to the Eighth Doctor Adventures. I really, really do. He is fucking spectacular in those. Then after that you have the Dark Eye series, and it goes goes on from there. Now they're like in Time War season 2 or something like that. So, or is it Ravenous? It's see, the hard drive's working on. Big B Coffee. No, I don't get paid by them. I just like their shit. You see, that's the thing I can't figure out either. When School Reunion happened, and that was back in 2006, I believe. It was a major, major fucking hit. It was such a big hit that it led to the Sarah Jane Adventures, which was another damn hit. But it's beginning to seem like to me, no, classic series, bad. I got bigger idea. Let's take a location that was, somewhat mentioned in Doctor Who, and then we'll stick a bunch of horny teenagers in it, and we'll call it Class. Oh, I'm doing okay. Yeah, Class was utter shit. It really was. I don't know what drugs they were smoking, but okay, the doctor was in it for all of 5 minutes? Time has looked into your faces, and time doesn't forget. Yeah, if only the viewers fucking didn't. And then when they do finally air it on the BBC, they stuck it in a Monday night time slot, like 11 o'clock at night. No, it's just, it was bad. It was horrible. All right, let me throw you a bone, okay? You get like all the way to the last episode, right? And you got little hacker chick. I think her name was, what was it? The little hacker girl that doesn't barely hack anything. And she learns how to fight from Miss Quill in all of 5 fucking minutes. Raise your arm like this, do this, do this. And she's taking on experienced otherworld warriors like they were fucking chumps. That right there, I was like, there's a point where you have suspension of disbelief and all that. But that's just way the hell out there. Oh. Just like one of the reasons I quit watching Rebels, you had Ahsoka Tano taking on Darth Vader. Meanwhile, like I said, she didn't even stay the whole course at the fucking Jedi Academy. And then you got Kanan, who's a damn dropout at a fucking youngling stage, yet I have learned from the holocrons to be a Jedi Master. That's like saying I could go pick up a goddamn book and be a fucking ninja by the end of the week. It just got to be silly after a while. You see, I'm really debating because as much as I love Sophie Aldred, the character of Ace, and I'd like to find out what she did after she got thrown back onto Earth, other than what, her mention in Sarah Jane Adventures, it's just, I don't really think I even want to waste my time on it. Because the show was shit. It was that bad. Oh, man, it's like, excuse me, honey, I can't come in yet. I have to wipe some Class off the heel of my shoe. Oh, man. I don't know. I might get tempted and listen. Just because I love Sophie Aldred. I love the character of Ace. But I just don't give a flying rat's ass about the other ones. All right, 10 minutes, folks, and I'm going to cut it. So, questions, comments. Oh, God, that's hard to nail down. Other past UK shows. I used to watch Benny Hill all the time. There was Dave Allen at Large. There was Space 1999. I didn't get into Blake 7 until way later. Because I was very lucky growing up because our local UHF channel late at night would show British programming. After a certain time, you get the little Thames logo, and then, all right, the really cool shit's going to happen. What was even great was when they showed Benny Hill and they forget to edit it. Boobies. So Also, I was in love with Space 1999 long before I got to Doctor Who. Um, Same thing with Star Trek. I was brought into Star Trek at around 7. Oh, thank you. It was all hands on deck. Thank you. Was the short trip where Susan is inducted into the Time War, sort of. So here's the thing. I do write, but if you've listened to our audio plays, like I said, I don't even put myself on the same level with those guys. Okay, I don't do it professionally because I can't fucking do deadlines. I just can't. I've tried. I don't like deadlines. Like people are going, Dr. Freedom, how come you've never partnered up with something like it? I've had at least a couple dozen offers to partner up with different things for this channel over the last 6 years. And the thing is, when you look up the various agencies, trust me, do this before you even think about it. Sure, there are benefits, but 9 times out of 10, you end up getting boned over out of the money or what little money you're going to earn out of here. I would have loved for them to do a show called The Ace Adventures. Survivors, I'm sorry, I did not have any exposure to Survivors until Big Finish put it out. I didn't get to see the original series. Like I said, there are, like I said, Bob Shearman wrote Dalek, and he also wrote Jubilee for Big Finish, which Dalek was loosely based off of. So there are people who've written for Big Finish that have also written for the show. It's just, you got to remember, in the new format, unless you got a two-parter going on, you only get so many minutes to accomplish your story. It's not like, and Big Finishes normally run on a main range upwards of 2.5 hours. So one of these days, I got to put on that sombrero. I got my bowler hat hanging off it. See, right there. So I haven't really listened to, I've only heard about Dark Dimension and all that. I've never really gotten into it. So I'm working on that. Anything else? 5 minutes and I'm going to cut it. So I want to thank everybody who did come here tonight. We're just a hair shy now of 4,500 subscribers on the YouTube channel. See, 4,500. Yeah, just shy now of that. We're just shy of 1,200 on Twitter. And if I remember right, let's see, Hoovy and Zamino, we're at like 3,038 followers. So, like, everyone's like, how come you ain't got 100,000 subscribers like such and such? And the thing is, like I said, this channel has grown by leaps and bounds with little to no advertising. The only advertising I do is on Facebook and Twitter. I don't pay for Google AdSense or any of that other shit. And I could. But the thing is, I do this as a hobby. I do this, because back in the day, there were certain other shows that were running around touting, going, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, and 9 times out of 10 it wouldn't. So I figured, you know what, I can do this, and I can, at least fact check and make sure everything that gets out there, I have a reasonable degree of, of assurance that it's going to be true. So also, a lot of you folks, how many here saw the ticking clock? Oh my God, the Doctor Who logo ticking clock. I've got a boner. I'm like, really? That was the big freaking deal? It's a ticking clock. The clock is ticking. No shit, really? It's only mid-August now. You got September right around the corner, and we still don't have a fucking air date. It's like, my only assumption is that they're going to finally announce an air date. I don't think you're going to see any more trailers. If you do, I'll be shocked. And where'd you get this from, Connor? Gallifrey Base. Well, I think the crystals on the console. Oh, I ain't gonna argue about it. As you see, when they're lit up, they do make the room like a pinkish hue, but I don't think they're pink themselves. Maybe. Okay. Well, folks, like I said, we've gone on for 55 minutes. There is a little thing that's popped up on the BBC America Twitter and all that. Just go do hashtag Doctor Who. It should come right up. And it's the clock is ticking, and it's the Doctor Who logo ticking like a clock if you haven't seen it. That's all it is. It's a whopping 6 damn seconds of amazing dumbass shit. We've got you all hooked in. We're going to lead you down the road by your penis. Oh, God. Ugh. Well, folks, I'm going to get running. I want to thank everybody for coming in tonight. I want to thank everybody who came in and attended. Great. Now my allergies are going to start going off like mad, which I don't know why. Like I said, I want to thank everybody. Like I said, yeah, 4,500 subscribers on the YouTube channel. We're like, oh, heck, we're over 3,000 on Whovians Amino. We're at almost 1,200 on Twitter. And like I said, come on back. We're going to be here for a while. And as we get more info we can prove, then we'll definitely see. Like a lot of people are going, how come you don't do daily news updates? Because there ain't no daily freaking news to do. I'm sorry. I love it when a bunch of teenagers go out there and make daily videos, sit there basically going, speculating shit. And they're like, I'm sorry. I'm going to waste people's time. I'm going to waste people's time giving them accurate information. All right. Good night, folks. Take care. Sayonara. Sayonara means goodbye, you jack-offs.